Hello viewers, Super GT here. So you may have seen the recent karting video and the response was really positive, really positive. 9.1 thousand likes, which I think is the most I've ever had on a video, and nearly 1,500 comments. It was really amazing response. And over 100,000 views in about 5 days. So I'll happily take that. I'm going to bring you some more karting here. So this is from Buckmore Park. I did this in February. Let's see what we can do then from, I think I was about 10th on the grid. Already shoving it up the inside, if that isn't too rude. And up into 5th, up into 4th. And again, the space opens up. I'm sending it, and up into 3rd place we go. So the invitation was sent out. Would you like to attend this party up the inside at Hairpin 2? I replied, yes I would. Flying up to 3rd, looking for 2nd by the end of the lap, maybe. Coming down the hill, fast sweeping right-hander of Paddock, and then up towards the tricky right-hander of Garda. Up the inside, up into 2nd, there was a brief bit of contact on the way through. But we find ourselves now in 2nd, behind the Greek god of speed, Costa. We'll go back gaining on him. He's got maybe a 2-second gap. And it really is important on that first lap to really get your head down, get that gap opened. I still have not, I mean, I've got 8 more laps. It's a 9-lap race. I've got 8 more to try to catch up. But when someone's as quick as Costa, then it can be very difficult to pull in, 2 seconds. You'd have to be a couple of attempts a lap quicker, and it can be difficult. So coming down the hill, then you can see this is February, so the trees have barely got leaves on them. It's very cold. And the tyres are cold, hence this silly mistake where I just looked behind as I went past that blue and white bollard. I just grazed that bollard, pushed out to the side. Unfortunately, that means a 1-place penalty. It's basically there just to protect the track limits. So I'm a track limit abuser, quite clearly. So I finished 2nd on the track, but get that 1-place deduction for abusing the track limits. So I can't avoid penalties in gaming nor real life. So a 3rd place in that race, it really should have been a 2nd, but silly mistake. We go again then from 17th out of 18. Let's see how this one goes. And we all know the Moses effect. We've seen it documented very well in many games, but I've carried it over into reality, and he's, the big man up there is looking down upon me as he casts everyone aside, and I just go straight through the centre of all of them and gain 4 or 5 positions. Guy sliding sideways and just nip up the inside on the way out. I think everyone went a little bit too hot there. So where am I now? I'm in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place, obviously. And from 17th, that's barely 3 corners, 11 places. Just shows you, if Moses is on your side, then you're going through the grid very quickly. Looking for more positions. I'm looking up the inside here, but no, have to back out slightly. That person goes for the move, and it wasn't a good one, so I capitalise on that. Sometimes you've got to do that. You see the move ahead not that great, so you take a wider line in and you can just overtake people on the way out. And move up into 4th at the end of lap 1. The top 3 immediately right ahead of us. We can try to go about catching up with them. We're going to do that already from hairpin 1. As the space opens up once again on the inside into hairpin 2, and I'm going to take that invitation once again into 3rd, and Adam Wright the lead there with his hand up. He wants to move away, he wants to get a move on with this race. As we come down the hill, fast sweeping right, fast sweeping left into Paddock Hill Bend, not Paddock Hill, just Paddock Bend. Paddock Hill is at Brands Hatch, not at Buckmore Park. As we come through Garda, already onto the back of Stuart Jones. Can we look for a place by here? Not quite. This fast sweeping left-hander is not an overtaking opportunity. Turn 1, you can go up the inside there, not really alongside though. It's not a big braking zone. The first big braking zone is around here into hairpin 1, but normally it's best to wait around hairpin 1 and go for a move into hairpin 2, which is here. And the space does open up. We go semi-defensive, but I go up the inside. So I'm to 2nd. You see just how much more traction Adam gets there as we had to go for the narrow line for the overtake. And yes, my number plate is hanging off there, the yellow thing. So obviously I need to improve my putting number plates on properly skills. quite lacking at the moment. I'm only level 1 on that. So coming through Senna, up the hill through Cafe Curve, and looking to try to get the lead here on lap 4 now. So yeah, so this is the Club 100 round. The last video I did was BUKC, British University Karting Championship, so for that I was just turning up for a one-day event. This is a year-long championship, so Club 100, I'll link it in the description if you want to take a look. And the prize I'm competing for this year is like a test day in a Ginetta GT5. So obviously a very good prize, very cool prize that. I'm going to do our best to try to win that. It's going to be very difficult though, lots of really good drivers here. And well, you know, we'll just do our best, see what happens. If we don't win, then fair enough. But if we do, then great, we've got a good prize. Looking up the inside of Adam Bright as we start lap 4. So lap 4, I kind of closed the gap, was right on him, but didn't really quite think about going for the move. Down to hairpin 1, don't normally go for moves there. Tend to wait for hairpin 2. The space opens up, we're going to go for it. Up into the lead of the race before the halfway mark from 17th. It is ridiculous. Once again, the AI on quite a low difficulty. I think I need to up the difficulty settings here. But it's just a heat, so the heats are kind of random grids. So when you get to the final, that's when it gets a lot more difficult, as you're mixed in with a much more evenly matched drivers. Coming through over the line to end lap number 5, and at the moment going really well. So this is a crucial lap this. Once you get into the lead, you just need to get your head down and really just try to open up a bit of a gap. It can be tricky because if the person behind you is right behind you, they're going to be picking up the draft, the slipstream, and it does help. It does help a little bit. It's not nothing. So some people did ask that in the previous video. Does slipstream work? Is it a thing? It definitely is a thing. You do notice it. It's not like Gran Turismo levels where you can gain like half a second on one straight. It's not quite like that, but it's definitely noticeable, and you can kind of get pulled along by someone who's maybe a tenth or two quicker in their slipstream if you can kind of sit behind them. So that is lap 10 now, starting lap 10. We've actually got a back marker just ahead of us, so that could scupper our chances. And as we've said on the previous video, ghosting doesn't exist in real life. Yeah, there's no ghosting technology. And if we do catch up to him, as I take a look behind just to really gauge the situation, if we do catch up to him, we do have to overtake him legit, unless he kind of moves to the side and lets you go through, but you can't really expect that. So down the hill, Paddock Hill bend, towards guided, taking another look just to make sure that Adam right behind me isn't right behind me. And I just decided there's no point in going for the move, we'll just stay behind for now. As we cross the line, that is the race victory. Take the win. So our first race, which isn't in the video because it was a pole position win, it wasn't really much to see. That was a first, then we got a third, and then we got another first. So 1, 3 and 1 as we go into the pits. Now during this race my seat was moving a little bit and it felt really weird, so I decided to take the car in and get it checked out. So something was loose. I was like moving around. It felt really strange. So that's my excuse for not being absolutely on it and setting lap records. Okay then, this is the grid for the final. Nighttime now, so I do apologise if the FPS is a little bit weird. I can't get it right for these nighttime races. It's just the way it works on these GoPro cameras is just really strange at night. So pole position for the final, 16 laps. Let's see what we can do about trying to win the first final of the season. So it's not often that we actually race under lights. Actually, most of the season is done during the spring, during the summer, and a little bit into autumn. And this one was done in late February, and probably would have been about 6 or 7 p.m. here. So yeah, just driving in the dark is just a lot different. It really is a different experience. But here, lap 6 now. So just trying to control the race from the front. Now it looks quite simple, but we do have Joe Holmes right on our tail there. So he went up the inside into paddock, immediately retake the position, and go back into the lead. So it looks like, you know, I'm just lapping around easily, but no, there's someone right on me, and it's not just anyone, it's Joe Holmes, who's the heavyweight, well, he's the heavyweight champion in 2016, then he won the elites twice in a row, so he's pretty much the guy to beat. And I'm going defensive now, lap 12, so 4 to go after this one, and yeah, it's going to be pretty much a defensive race from here to the end, to cross the line, to begin lap number 13, 14, 15, 16, yeah, 4 laps to go. Just doing some quick maths there. Now, coming to hairpin 1, there's the move. I was kind of expecting, I didn't know where it was going to come, but he goes through into the lead. So now, it really turns from a defensive race into an attacking one. Can we go about getting back past him with time running out? To be fair, he timed that move quite well, around 3/4 of the way into the race. That's, you know, normally you kind of churn out the laps to begin with, especially in a 16 lap race. You kind of you lap a lot of the time, just building a gap to the people behind, and then towards the end you really do begin to fight a lot more. That's typically how it normally is at the front of the race. So he's going defensive. There isn't a space. It's got the inside into hairpin 1, or sorry, turn 1. Into hairpin 1 again, not quite on him. So not really close enough. Does he go defensive into hairpin 2? Looking over the shoulder, yes, defensive line. There's no way through on the exit, so we're going to have to wait behind for the moment and pick our chances carefully to come down the hill. Fast corners, these, fast right, fast left, not really overtaking opportunities. He can go up the inside there, but he goes defensive. And possible move into guard, and not quite. He's looking behind. He's just really trying to gauge my exact position. And if he has to go defensive, then he'll do it. So of course, no rear view mirrors in these karts. Up the main straight again, lap 15 now. So we're on the penultimate lap, only 1 lap to go after this one. Space opens up on the inside, not quite close enough to go for the move. It could have been a big, brave lunge of the century. And again, defensive into hairpin 2. This guy really knows exactly where to position the car to prevent me from going past. I could just go, you know, full send, Daniel Ricciardo style, but you really do risk it, getting a penalty and just getting it all wrong. So we're going to try to really be patient, just look for the exact right opportunity to go for the move. So a really good race this. Pretty much the entirety of the race we've been nose to tail in one order or the other. Mostly me in front, but at the crucial moment here I am behind. Final lap beginning right now. Coming through turn 1. Is the space going to open up on the inside? No. He goes to the right hand side, defends hairpin 1. Move to the left. Can I get a cut back on him and get a run coming out into hairpin 2? Yes, I can. Try and hold him to the left hand side and push him back to the right. Then I can try to get the cut back on him on the way out. And I've got the drive side by side going into the S's and going through here, being forced wide onto the extra tarmac there. Coming down the hill side by side. You just rarely ever see this. And he's back up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend. Can I go? Not Paddock Hill Bend, that's a Brands Hatch. I keep getting that wrong. But can we go through the inside on the way out? Not quite. He's covered me off. Coming up the hill then, that's pretty much it covered as we come through the final turn. And it's going to be a second place in what was really a scintillating race. And honestly, a titanic battle with Joe Holmes. Great battle that. Shake of the hands. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. Do let me know your thoughts on it and whether or not you liked it. So my next karting adventure is actually in Spa in Belgium at the end of May, so that's probably going to be the next time you'll see something like this. And I haven't been to Spa, the karting track. I've been to the track, but not the karting track. I've been to the F1 track. But yeah, so the next thing you'll see in terms of karting will probably be that. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching as always. Thank you for the support on not just the karting videos, but all of them. I do hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.